Hi, this is Diane from Beefhead Videos. This is just a reminder for you to return one of our videos. It's titled 69 Techniques to Improve Your Lovemaking. It's overdue by 2 weeks. Be sure to return it to us soon.
You know the drill. Go get 'em.
Hello everyone and welcome back to No More Heroes on the Nintendo Wii. I'm one Welsh sheep yet again and I love how that voice at the end. You know the drill. Just yeah, go on. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, let's fuss our cat a little bit more. Now, I don't think you get anything really out of fussing your cat Jean, but considering she killed our master in the last part, I think it's time we praise her because I don't know why. But anyway, first things first, we need to head over to Naomi's lab to give her the Japanese sword that we picked up. And I love how she's questioning, where do we get the Japanese sword? You know, I'm pretty certain a Japanese sword would be harder to get hold of than a laser beam sword. You know, it's just me. You know, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty certain. But you might have been wondering, what about Thunder Ryu now that he's dead? Well, his ghost is still here to teach us, so we can still train under the lessons of the ghost of Thunder Ryu, which is kind of handy. You know, it's kind of handy they didn't lock off the training sequences with him. And I know why they didn't lock it off, because you need to do these little training sequences. Otherwise, well, you don't need to. You can easily get through the game without touching a single training sequence, but it helps a hell of a lot to do it, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But I digress, it's just the usual shindig. Anyway, in this part we're going to be doing what I consider to be the best assassination mission in the game for grinding up money as well. That's going to be way at the end of the part, though, sadly, you know, because we got to do a normal side mission for the time being, which is actually, I believe... Is this the final side mission now? I think this is the final side mission, yeah. We need to exterminate scorpions. So, this mission by you is actually one of the hardest in the game to... Well, not so much hardest, but it's the easiest in the game to mess up. How is it so easy to mess up, you might ask? Well, it's quite simple. We need to pick up scorpions. If a scorpion stings you, obviously, you're going to get poisoned. And that's actually a big gimmick that I'm going to go a bit more in depth when we actually get to the mission. Trust me, this mission right here is... Well, no, a lot of people don't like this one. I personally never had any issues with this mission, but I know I'm in the minority. I know a lot of people complain all the time about how this mission handles, and so yeah, I'm gonna try and give as best advice as I physically can. There we go. And this mission basically takes place in this gigantic field. You know, this one place we came for that one mission that was god awful. Yeah. You know, apart from... It's not really, you don't really see a lot of this part of the city, actually, now that I think about it. It's a huge segment of the city. It's just sort of cut off. We never really go here with the exception of like 2 specific instances. It's kind of strange. But yeah, as the game said, we need to pick up scorpions. If we get stung, then we will have a time limit to head on back to the employer. If we fail to go to the employer in time, we will die. So what I sort of recommend doing is, until you get the speed up power up, sort of moving around to a closest range in a semicircle around the main employer guy, and picking up all the scorpions you see in the environment. And one of the best things I can recommend doing is, whenever you see scorpions, walk up to them, but walk up to them somewhat slowly and wait for the icon to pop up on screen. When you see the A button icon pop up on screen, pick up the scorpion and chuck it in your basket. I'm not doing this right now because I'm pretty used to this mini game. I don't really ever have any issues with this. But it's what I recommend, you know. Getting stung by one of these scorpions is no good. Now, of course, the further out you get from the employer, the more scorpions are going to pop up. But of course, you're going to be in more trouble because if you're all the way out there and you get stung, chances are you want to be able to make it back and survive. You might die, you know? And dying is no good. It means no payment. Which is kind of strange, but...
2 hours later.
But yeah, 2 hours later, there we go. We have gotten hold of all the scorpions. I don't mind that minigame. It's actually a pretty fun one to pretty fun one to play through. But I know plenty of people, 69 grand, funny number. But a lot of people really don't like to do that one. You know, I see so many people complain because they find it too difficult. You know, personally, I don't see the difficulty, but it must be there if I see people complaining about it all the time, so... I digress. Anyway, like I said, now we're going to head on to the final couple of assassination missions. And one of these assassination missions is going to be the most useful one in the entire game, ladies and gentlemen. I am not even joking. You will earn so much money from these missions. Starting off with Speedjack. Now, as you can guess, we need to go on the bus and kill all the mooks that are on said bus until they go away. So, it's basically the last mission. Again. Whoa! Riveting gameplay. Riveting gameplay. There's still no driver, for Christ's sake. Game developers, you don't even need a high quality model. Just chuck something in there to make it look like someone's driving. It could be something the quality of a PS1 game. I don't care, you could chuck a sprite in there. I'll be happy with that. Just put something to make sure it looks like someone's driving, for Christ's sake. It bugs me. It really bugs me. But anyway, yeah, like I said, this year is basically the last mission again, in a nutshell. It's a bit shorter than the last mission was, so just keep wailing on all the mooks, and there's nothing I can really give in terms of... There's no real advice I can give you guys, you know, because all the... just so... kill things. It's riveting, yes. And honestly, I like this mission to earn a bit of money, but it's kind of just boring to go through, you know. And considering at this point in the game, you should have the money to... money. You should have unlocked the next assassination mission as well at this point, which is the best one in the game for money, which basically means you shouldn't do this mission. You should ignore this mission and go to the next one. Because the next one, In fact, what you don't see in this playthrough is I've actually cut out about half an hour's worth of grinding in the next mission. Because to get all the final power-ups, like the final beam katana and what have you, you're going to need to collect a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money for these power-ups. Because the last couple of power-ups just cost an absolute fortune. They literally cost an arm and a leg. Like the price you would get for an arm and a leg, that's how much they would cost you to do. So it can be a bit tricksy. But yeah, that's another easy mission, you know, 50 seconds worth of killing. Whoop-de-doo, can't complain too much, I suppose. Unless you're like me and you're doing YouTube commentary and you have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to think of things to say, which is very not fun. Granted, this upcoming fight by here is even harder in terms of missions to commentate over, but I think I'll try and pull it off. I think I will. Bada bing. But yeah, because there's so many, this is basically the best mission to grind money for in the game. You get like 100 grand every time you do this mission, and it's literally about 3 or so minutes worth, you know. Kill as many enemies as you physically can, and this is where your beam katana by here will show off its true potential. You will see people die. You will see everyone in the place die because I don't even need to say because of anything. Look at this, it's insane. It just earned money for every one of these kills. It's pretty fun to go through as well, and it's actually very easy. Because these mooks by here, they don't really block your attacks a whole lot, and they also don't really attack you a whole lot. You know, they're pretty defensive and pretty... It's sort of like meander about all of this area. So, yay, I guess. But yeah, make use of your charge strike, like I mentioned before, way earlier on in the playthrough. Like I said, you can charge up your finishing strike by shaking the Wii remote even more. And if you do that, then you can kill more enemies on the screen. And this is where this ability comes most useful with this beam katana and the next beam katana. 'Cause look at that, that's ridiculous. People just explode. It's amazing. Oh, it's delicious. It's a shame we won't be using this beam katana for too much longer though, ladies and gentlemen, because after the next mission we will be getting hold of our proper Tsubaki Mark IV, which is actually the beam katana that we do need to access the final ending. Now you might be wondering, what am I talking about with that? Well, basically, in a lot of games like this, you normally the secret ending, or the real, true ending of the game, is locked behind some sort of prerequisite. In this one, the prerequisite is simply get the final beam katana, which isn't that much of a prerequisite, really, because it's just there, and if you're like me, on my first playthrough, I grinded to get that beam katana anyway, just so because I knew it would make the final level easier for me. But, I don't know, I just think it's a weird prerequisite having a weapon to be, like, the unlock to the final mission. I think it could just be me, I don't know, it depends what you guys think about it. But, like I said, there's nothing much to this mission. It's actually like 3 minutes of just slicing and dicing people into tiny little bits. Oh, it's delicious. Oh. You know, people who don't like blood will not like the the PS3 or the American version of this game, because as I told you, this version of the game is censored. You know. Oh my God, that's delicious. But yeah, the PS3 and American Wii version of the game is uncensored, so blood spurts everywhere when you kill all these mooks. And honestly, for this mission in particular, I can see that really destroying the Wii's processor. But people who don't like blood will probably just faint at the sight of this mission, because it's just blood everywhere. You'll see red the entire time. And honestly, I don't really mind that this is uncensored, you know, ladies and gentlemen. As long as the gameplay's fun enough, I'm content with that. But yeah, I think some of the jokes of this game would have worked a bit better if they hadn't censored it. Maybe they could have censored some of the sequences and uncensored some others. Like, remember when we killed Destroyed Man and utterly destroyed him? Well, it was meant to be a scene where when we sliced down the middle of his body was meant to split in half and his guns would still be shooting. That was meant to be a visual gag that sort of lost a bit of its charm in in this version, man. I don't know, it's still kind of funny, but it's not as funny, you know. But I digress. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a hell of a lot of money for a couple of minutes work. Like, this is the best mission. Look at this, 148 grand. 3 minutes worth of gameplay for this. It's godlike. It is absolutely godlike. I tell you what, it is amazing. But I digress. It's time to head on back to the motel and reap our rewards, shall we?
What the? A letter? What do we got here?
Don't come looking for me, Sylvia Crystal.
Some trouble at home? She quit her job? Huh. What the hell is this all about? The Rank 2 match will be at Destroy Stadium. Aren't I a hard-working girl? Huh. Not the baseball stadium again. Okay, Sylvia. Only 2 more to go. I'm going all the way. That's a promise.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So next time we will be taking on rank number 2, which is one of the more, not so much annoying. Yeah, actually, I think it's safe to say she was one of the more annoying ranked fights if you don't know how to take her on, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we're going to be doing that next time. So thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish. And I'll see you all then. Bye! Also, it's good to know that Hogwarts are handling the mail deliveries for the UAA from now on, isn't it?